Right, so go live. Right, a very, very good evening. It is 2200 and I'm live, I think. Oh, it's been so long since I've done a live one on YouTube, but here we go, some question and answers. First of all, I had a question about this, the Behringer. This is a brilliant product, by the way. If you want a rotary controller for your flight sim, whether it's X-Plane or MSFS, this is, I mean, there's loads of, well, there's 8 rotary encoders, and they've all got push buttons on, and then you've got these buttons below, and there are 2 layers. So each of these buttons on each of the rotaries have two options, and we've got a slider. So I did a video on how to set this up, and one of the questions I had in is how do I map this slider to an axis? Ooh. So let's go down to the Flight Sim PC and see if I can answer that. So put my mouse on the right PC. Let's have a look. Ah, there is someone actually here live. Galloway Hervey from Fort Worth, all the way from over the pond. Thank you very much. So let's get on and have a look at this. So it's a Lorbe's access and O's we're going to need. And keyboard's on the wrong one. Lorbe's access and O's. There we go. I'll launch that. And we'll do this in offline mode. So to configure an access, it's the left hand side of the screen, so I click the plus button. That's not working, is it? Add a new assignment. Wow, perhaps you can't yeah, perhaps you can't do it unless the simulator is running. So let's start up the sim. So MFS add-ons, I always use this for launching the sim. I think this is just a brilliant piece of software. So let's launch this. Okie doke. And I'm going to have to shut the sound up on this. This is a mistake I had on my video the other night when I was asking some answering some questions about whatever it was. Oh, Stream Deck, of course. And the sound sounded awful. There were 2 reasons for the bad sound. One was I had the aircon on because it's blooming hot over here. And the other problem was I had background noise cancellation in OBS, and it was picking up the music, and things were going crazy. Anyway, let's fire this up, and I'll make this a little bit smaller so we can see both of them. Now, if I was recording this, of course, I could have set this all up and then edited it, but I didn't. I'm doing it live, warts and all. While that's going, I'll move the mouse over to the other screen and see if there are any other questions on here that I need to answer. Stream Deck. Oh, what protocol did I select for the MIDI controller? I tried to get it work with the M+, but can't assign at the moment. Right. I think I've got the Access and O's software on here somewhere. There's Access and O's. I'm looking for the Behringer. Oh, perhaps I didn't download it onto here. This is my new PC, so I'm still getting everything moved across. Oh, yes, I have. Xtouch Editor. So, going to the Xtouch. Ah, yeah. So, let's see if we're connected. Oh, we don't seem to be connected. Ah, ha ha ha. Right. Yes, I remember this one. This Xtouch Editor isn't going to talk to the Behringer at the moment because Access and O's is running and that's grabbed the MIDI. So, hardware. Get layer A. Do I really want to get it? Yes. So you can see I'm running in standard mode, not MC mode. And that's all you have to do. If we look at my encoders, I've set all the encoders to the buttons to momentary. The LED rings are on pan, but you can change those, and the buttons are all momentary as well. That's on layer 1, and on layer 2 it's the same. So anyway, that answered the question that came in 2 months ago. I am so sorry for being so late in answering, but as I said on my video, I've been off air for a while. So let's just fire up a plane. It doesn't matter what it is. Let's go for something easy. I don't want to be at Heathrow. Let's go to EGKA. EGKA. Shoreham. And we'll put it down there. That's departure. Make it daytime and fly. This shouldn't take too long to fire up. Access and O's. I'm waiting for the aircraft. This is when the simulator crashes. I see we got two online at the same time. Ewan as well. Ready to fly? But I'm up in the blooming air. Never mind. ASBO Club. Let's pause that. How do I sign an access on the Behringer? So we go to plus. That brings up the simulator access. So let's go for, what should we go for? Let's go for throttle 1 and go down to move joystick access, and as you can be seen, I'm just sliding this up and down, and it's come up as event 3009 add, and that's it. Now this little red triangle at the top there, that is the effective lower limit. So Let's take this off of pause. I'm not actually flying this. Where's the throttle? Oh, there we go. So you can see I move it up, bring this up, move it down, and it's gone to full 0 where that red triangle is. So all I have to do is click on it with my mouse, take it all the way to the left, and now it's going to do the full range. I guess, and this is just a guess at the moment because I haven't tried it, if I put it in the middle I could use the lower half as the reversers, for example. Where's my plane going? Oh, there we go. Have a look outside. Yeah, it's not too bad. Throttles. Access is really easy. Question number 1. Marco, hi. I watch these other YouTube videos and they say, hi man, and I'm sorry, I'm English. And I'm old. I don't do man, what's up bro, or any of that sort of stuff. If I did, my children would divorce me. What else? X-Touch Mini. I followed your video for FCU and then automatically I implemented the lights on layer B. Then I tried to copy some commands from the Stream Deck to the X-Touch, but some variables I can't import into the X-Touch Mini. For example, the command for smoke. I don't know if this is due to a MIDI or an AAO limitation. Okay, so they should work. And let's bring up this. And I need a plane. So there's the Mooney, and let's just move my Stream Decks over, because my Stream Decks are actually connected to the broadcast software at the moment. Mooney. So I want to bring one of these buttons onto the Bayringer away from the Stream Deck. Is that possible? It should be. Oh, that's the flight sticks. Keep default. Right. Let's go back to the main menu, continue, and load up the Mooney. World map. We'll stay there, and we want the Mooney. So Coronado Mooney. There we go. EGKA, and let's start from there. So hopefully all of these buttons, and I lift it up and show you the XL Stream Deck, but on the screen you can see the Stream Deck buttons. Ready to fly. Ah, that's interesting. I bet I didn't load the templates, the scripts. Let's have a look at the script editor. Phoenix. No, I don't have the Mooney scripts in there. That's a lot of use. It's never going to work. Might as well grab them. Good night, Marco. Thanks for joining. So this is just in place of the news. I'm not going to carry on with that. I will. The person that asked it, Marville. Oh, it was Marco who actually asked this question. I bet he's already answered it because it was 3 months ago he asked the question. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. and then I've got my joysticks here. This is my new PC. I'm going to do a review on this, but let's quickly show you, because buying hardware, let's put that back. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Now, I'm in IT as a full-time job, and my last sim computer I actually made myself, put all the bits together. It's about 4 or 5 years old. It's a 1080 Ti, and to be quite honest, it was a pain in the neck. I mean, it's like car mechanics. They don't want to come home and start working on cars. I don't work on hardware, I work on software. So this time round, I decided I was going to shop around and see if I could find a PC. Let's find... Stop browser. There we go. So this is the PC I purchased, and I'm not going to do a technical review about the benchmark tests and all of that. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I see enough of benchmark tests in my full-time job. And it is valid. It's a valid thing to ask. How many frames does it do on this? And I'm not interested. I only use this gaming computer for one game. Well, and I hate calling it a game. I use it for Flight Sim. And so I don't care about the frame rate. I want it to be smooth. All these people that go on about I can get 70 frames, 80 frames, you need 120 frames on all of this, I'm not interested. As long as it's smooth, it reacts to the weather, and for me, VR. So the 1080 Ti really struggled. This one has got a 3080 in it. Not the Ti. Couldn't afford the extra. 1,774. And I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed. That's exactly what it looks like. The downside was that cooler. That Intel fan on the i7 12th generation, the minute I fired up the Flight Sim, I was watching the temperature using hardware info, and again that's on the Stream Deck, so the Stream Deck is showing me how hot the PC's running. 102 degrees. Boy, that was... How can this be a gaming PC? 102 degrees. So that had to rip out. And I replaced it with a Corsair closed loop water cooler, and it did the trick. So it now runs at 40 degrees unless I'm running Flight Sim 2020, in which case it's running about 60 degrees. The 3080 runs at 80 degrees in Flight Sim 2020. In X-Plane it runs about 65-70 degrees. And the processor runs cooler in X-Plane as well. So yeah, I would go for one of these. The motherboard, it's a cheap MSI motherboard. It's not a full-size one. There's no Bluetooth on it. There's no wireless on it. It is USB 3. There are no spare slots. I can't put any more cards in it. I don't care. I want this for Flight Sim. Oh, one other thing. It had Norton security on it. And I think that screwed me up, because the first time I tried to connect Access and O's, it wouldn't connect. And SimConnect wouldn't connect either. And I'm pretty sure it was Norton security. So I uninstalled it. I uninstalled it. I hadn't installed it using the Norton Security uninstaller. Now what this thing does, Yeah, it uninstalls it, but when it uninstalls it, it runs an app that always, every time you boot up, downloads the latest version of Norton and says, it pops up a window saying, oh, by the way, you're not protected. Ooh, scary, scary. Click here and we'll load Norton up for you. I don't want it. This software in my full-time job, and I do voice communications, VoIP and stuff like that. Norton Security is a big headache for me. So in the end, I couldn't find a way of doing it, and I'm just impatient. So I reformatted the drive and put Windows 11 Pro instead of Windows 11 on. And you can get Windows 11 Pro keys, just Google it, CRJ keys or something like that, 10 quid for an OEM, fully genuine version of Windows 11 Pro. So go for that. Anyway, that was what I bought. And if you're looking for a piece of hardware and you don't mind fitting your own water cooler, yeah, I think this is pretty good value for money. I mean, a 3080, what are they going for now? And by the time you've done everything else and had the heartache of wiring it all up and getting it all to work, I think that's good value for money. Anyway, thank you so much. I don't think I've got any more questions I haven't answered, actually, on the feedback. I've only gone back 6 months. And like I said, I've been off air for nearly a year. I can't believe it's so long. And the subscriptions keep going up and up and up. So thank you very much for that. I've got a proper video, how-to video, more on this, I promise you. Stream Deck. Oh, and the other thing is I'm going to start doing videos on Air Manager. Have you tried Air Manager? I mean, Stream Deck, great. This, brilliant. Air Manager, and if you've got a touch screen, oh, it's a game changer. It really is. And touch screens, I'll show you some touch screens you can pick up fairly cheap. I've got it running. Oh, I've got to show you this because I'm just so happy with it. So, a DIY Knobster. Get that on the camera. A DIY Knobster, so that's a rotary encoder, a dual rotary encoder with a push button. That plugs into this Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is running a touchscreen. The touchscreens get 17-inch touchscreen for about £100. You connect that to the side of the touchscreen. All the instruments on the touchscreen you can touch. And once you've touched, let's say you touch the OBS in the C172. When you turn this, it turns the OBS. And when you touch the radio, you use the inner and outer to tune the radio. So this one piece of hardware works with everything on the screen. Absolutely no use when I'm in VR. That's when this comes into place. And you'll notice I've changed the... Turn that round. I changed the knobs. So 3D printed some knobs. So I can just lean over with my hand, feel, and I know exactly what I'm turning. But when I'm flying flat screen, and I do occasionally, this Air Manager. I love the Air Manager program. It's not cheap though, is it? About £60. Anyway, I'm going to start a series on Air Manager as well. So that's it for this evening. I've gone on for way longer than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a 10-minute program. To the 3 or 4 guys that turned up, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll be back. In the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Thank you so much. And as usual, take care. Enjoy your flying, and good night. He says, I got to stop streaming. I'll sort this out.